forget to tell folks, and that is on me because we learn all of these little tips and tricks along the way, and sometimes we get lulled into a false sense of security that you can read our minds and already know the process. As an instructor, it's my job to make sure to fill in those blanks for you. So, not your fault, totally mine. I will own that one. All right, we see Epic here. Let's see, State. Oh, State, you have to update your Slack, friend, in order to participate. If you are from previous seasons and you're plopping in this morning, you have to make sure you do that. Otherwise, you're going to be lost. And not only that, you're not going to be able to get into anything cool. I will just tell you that. So, our friend Ziggy, I see you down there. You are a new face to me. So, if you want to participate, this is week one. This is the time where you jump into the deep end of the pool and say, yes, I'm going to do it. Cash Money Kev is going to be the person that you're going to want to DM to make sure that you have all of those fun links. May I with AI? You are new to me too. Welcome. Welcome. It looks like your profile picture has a passion flower that's glowing in the dark. That's awesome. And I see Kevin. Excellent. Excellent. All right.
All right. I think the live stream is back. I think I'm back on. So we can start. Now, question. Does everybody have the code from last night? So you can give me a thumbs up emoji if you have it, thumbs down if you don't.
I know State doesn't for a fact. I'm looking to see if there's any new faces. State will definitely need it. And everybody who is just visiting down below, Kevin, May I, Ziggy, David, none of those folks do because they are new. They are new and they will need it. Matthew might need his too. There you go. You're doing good.
What I would say is, guys, DM me. I'm going to give you a link to Slack and I'm going to give you a link to the file. Right. So just hit me up, send me a message, say hi, and I'll make sure you guys are in. Let's spend about 2 minutes doing that.
Also, if you have a previous Slack channel, this is for the benefit of the recording, don't let the streams cross because the Slack channel that Alisher's giving you is a professional one. And so if you have a regular Slack channel, it is going to want to upgrade you and make you pay big bucks. So make sure that you are keeping that little compartmental, ecosystem. I actually have our TSI Ideas to Impact Innovators Think Tank in a different browser completely. And Brave, for you Brave folks, that can sometimes be an issue. So just be aware that Brave does not play nice in the whole Borg ecosystem. And you want to make sure it's the same as Mac. Macs do the same thing. They have their own little just little twerks and weirdness about them that make it so that it adds another layer of friction. So just keep that in mind. Also, I'm trying to remember last night what one of the major issues were. If you have previous seasons tabs open, whether it's your GitHub, whether it's your Vercel, whether it's any of those things, you want to start with a fresh slate, right? So you don't want the cross-pollination between old projects and new projects because what ends up happening is it pollutes what you're trying to build, right? And it'll creep its way into whatever it is and confuse the holy heck out of you, right? So start with a clean slate. For those of you that got it to work last night, sometimes starting all over helps solidify in your head. For me personally, I'm afraid to mess with anything that's working. want to listen to it in the middle of the night, great. If you're a 4 a.m. riser like I am because I live on a farm, then the quiet in the morning is my superpower, right? All right. So I think we're all set. I see that Sharon has arrived. And like I said, the panel up top is open if you need it, folks, if you need it. Let's get going.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, let's get started. Now, the file that we start with is a zip, so make sure you extract it. I actually need to extract it as well. And it's going to have a bunch of files inside, but what's important is that you open the right folder. So when we started, I noticed a lot of people open the top folder, right? The one that says Netflix source code, or they open like their own folder, they renamed it. What you really want to open is this folder that ends with master, right? You want to open the root folder. You know it's the root because it has all these files inside. So you could either do that from VS Code, or if you just installed VS Code and you enabled certain settings, you can actually do it by right-clicking. But we'll do it from VS Code. So I have my VS Code. I'm actually going to stop this because remember last night we first had to stop the project and then open the new project. Some of you guys were already developers, so you might have had something running. But I'm going to open this fresh VS Code interface. You can get VS Code from the Microsoft Store now. You don't have to like download it separately. So if you have Microsoft Store on the bottom, it should be easy enough to get. And for this project, you also need Node.js. Very important. Those are your two main prerequisites, to get through today: VS Code and Node.js. Now I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Open Folder, and I'm going to look for that folder. There's Netflix source code. I can even double click in here to make sure that this is the root. It has all these extra folders. And then I just click Select Folder. And what you're going to notice is, yes, you want to trust the authors. This is a repo coming straight from us. I'm going to zoom in. You're going to notice all of these are open, and there's no folder that's higher than them. So this is the main root of our project. What's good about VS Code is it has some good syntax. So it's going to change this all, make the markings so you know which file it is. And yeah, this is step one. It's actually opening the project and how you would open the project. Because sometimes whenever you're working with AI, it's going to tell you to create a project in the terminal first. But in this case, we already have a project that's made, and we're just going to connect some services to it, as you guys found out with Mongo, the database service. And we're going to run it, right? This is very, very customizable project. So there's actually a lot of things we're going to end up doing here. So I don't need the terminal just yet. I think the next thing I'm going to do is create an env file. And the env file is going to tell us a lot of things. There's some things like the README. README is good to check out if you want to learn a little bit more about the project. Typically going to contain some information on how to get started. And check this out. This is a full stack Netflix clone with React, Next.js, Tailwind, and Prisma. So those are some things for you to be aware of. This is like the framework that it uses. Now we have a video tutorial, so you could always visit this link. It's like a 5-hour tutorial if you want to watch through it. It's about this guy actually building this from scratch, like from a little seedling of code. There's probably like a React starter kit into a whole application. So it's always an interesting watch. It'll teach you a lot, right? And it's just not going to be as accessible for those who aren't familiar with development. Now let's check this out. Here's our env in here. This is what we need to put in the env. It tells you set up that env file.
Alisher, 2 seconds. John has a question, hon.
I apologize. I'm having the worst time trying to watch the video and listen to you guys, because what happens is I get multiple audios, and I'm trying to watch the video through the link on X, and it's then all of a sudden it stops, and so I feel like I'm behind. I downloaded the file. Where should I watch the video from? Because on my Mac, I gotta pop it up to get bigger, and then I've got to mute this X space. Otherwise, it's double audio. And
Well, here's a suggestion. Are you on X on your phone?
No, I'm on my desktop.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay. So check this out. There's this little thing that I try to do on the desktop. So here's my space on the computer, right? I'm live streaming it. You can go to the replies, and there should be a reply with a live stream as well, and that you can mute, right? You can mute that. You can zoom in and watch it. You can, do full screen and watch it, but it'll be muted.
John, I do similar things. I actually listen to the space on a phone, and then have on the computer. I'm watching the live stream on the computer, but without sound. Now, granted, my setup is a little different. Everybody has their own. Starboss has her hands up. She might be able to help you too, because she's got, I think, similar issues and has solved them in previous seasons. Go ahead, Starboss.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I also use a Mac, so it there is like delays, and it doesn't sequence as streamlined. So I usually watch Twitch. I don't know if we have a Twitch stream going, but that's usually pretty clear and pretty easy to watch with no volume. The volume comes out of the phone. Everything else is turned down, and then I work on my computer. So I'm actually using an iPad, 2 cell phones, and a computer. That's what works for me. But there's only one that has audio, so you shut everything else off. So I'm using one as a tutor, that's showing me what to do, or what Alice or whoever's presenting. I'm listening to the commentary off of my phone, and then I'm actually doing the work like on my computer. And then if I have to do extra research or go grab a file, I'm researching that through my phone, and then I actually text message it to myself and open it up in my computer messages and then download from there. That's how I work it. It sounds like a long road, but it works for me.
And the other thing too, John, is eventually, if you do have My AI Tutor and some of the other things, there's a place called Space Downloader. You can actually get a full transcript, an AI transcript of your space. They keep track of all of them. So having that also after the fact, sometimes that can help. I usually take screenshots as Alisher is in key moments. I have a physical binder, and the reason why is because I don't have the fluidity of some of you folks that are in the space, right? So if I want to teach to learn twice, right, and teach other folks, it's easier for me to go through the steps and be able to write on that document. I'm a Luddite, so that's just the way it is. But that's the point, folks. When you're hacking your own education, do the thing that works for you. And when you find your groove, stick with it, because everybody's doing the same thing. And for you, it might be new for you, John, to have multiple screens, but I don't think there are many in the class that have less than 4 screens. It's the way Twitter is. Now, granted, that might change too. The Innovators Think Tank has kind of created a funnel, like a hub, where everybody can watch everything and have it all in one place. We are evolving. So, when you have these suggestions, we definitely write them down, because it is a problem and we know it is. And hopefully we can all navigate it together. So if you do get lost, just come right back up and we'll try to make sure that you're on the right page, and we'll muddle through it together. All right, Alisher.
But yeah, my recommendation is be on X on your phone, because that's going to be the most stable. You're not going to drop out as much. Audio is going to be better. And then just watch the live stream muted. You don't need the audio from the live stream. The audio is coming straight from X. Watch the live stream on your computer. if you need to see something. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way, because that way you'll also be able to interact easier, right? You don't have to jump back to the space. The space is on your phone next to you. That's what I do. I have my phone here, and then I have 2 screens here. And if I need to post something, I am in a space, but it's muted, so I don't really hear it. There's no audio coming from my computer.
All right, I think we're good. Thumbs up to everybody. Alisher is going to continue, just so we can get through. We value your time and your energy. So there we go. Go ahead, Alisher.
Awesome. Now, guys, README important. You can read through it. It's going to tell you every little step by step on how to get this file started. And now I'm going to grab these variables that we need for the env. And the way you create a file in VS Code, you can actually go right here to your left side menu, go all the way to the top to your root folder, and then there's a little plus new file button. So, or you can go to file, new file. That also works. Or you can even right click here and do new file. What was it? There you go, new file. Right click somewhere in the empty space. But you just want to make sure that this new file is in the root, right? It's in the topmost folder. You're going to see it's going to be among all these other files, and it will be called .env. Now, dot just means it's a hidden file. So you might not even be able to see it when you open this folder, but you will see it in VS Code. And the reason it's a hidden file is because it's going to contain some credentials, right? Some security sensitive information. So this is our first step, is actually putting all of these variables here. And then we're going to start filling it out. And that's how our app is going to essentially connect and function. Now, for these two, next auth JWT secret, next auth secret, we can put whatever here for now, right? This is a test app. If you're going into production where you're actually having users, you have people sign up, this is like a real app and not just something that we're testing, learning with, then you would generate something that's like 64 characters for me. I'm just going to put secret. Really, really doesn't matter what you put here for now, since we're just starting this up and trying to learn with it. Now, we're going to need a database URL. And if you guys remember from last night, what we used for the database was Mongo. So before you guys did Supabase in season 1, we did Neon in, I think, maybe season 4, season 3. And then we, what else did we do? We did PHPMyAdmin, for those of you that remember, the SQL database in our cPanels. And so this is another database provider, Mongo, another database framework. So I guess keep in mind, and they have a very generous free tier. So let's see. Actually, I don't think I've signed up for Mongo. So I'm going to just go to their website. Just going to look up Mongo, MongoDB. And here it is, the first option. Try for free. So I'm going to sign in. I'll sign in over here, actually, on this screen. I'll sign in with my personal email. Right, I'm pretty sure there's no payment that's necessary once you sign in.
Alisher, before you continue, John does have a question, and I also had a question too. Last night, Starboss tried to log in, couldn't log in, and it was insisting that it had an account already on file, and then you had to verify your email, but the email was not the one that we were using. So is there a way to make sure that you're not crossing the streams, that it can be a new slate, for lack of a better term? Just marinate on that. John, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so for Mongo, just sign up with a different email. right? Or sign up with GitHub. Just,
Yeah, I think
note it
that's
down
the way to do
somewhere
it.
for next time, because you do eventually want to come back, because these accounts actually, I think, give you unlimited free databases.
You want to also make sure that, like, for instance, I have a separate email just for this class so that all of my secret stuff goes to one place and I don't have to have it in a general email box, your personal or private. Go ahead, John.
Nowhere to upload it to. You need to extract it and you need to open the folder inside of it. Okay, first is make sure you have Visual Studio Code installed, and you want to open the folder with Visual Studio Code, because that's going to be your code editor. That's going to be how you're able to view all the files with ease. You just have to open it with Visual Studio Code. There's no uploading happening. Copilot is there. We're not going to use it. No, you're all good. Actually, let's do this. I think this is going to be a good exercise. Are you able to share your screen? I'll send you a link to share it. You can like join the live stream just like me. And would you like to do that? Oh, awesome. So let's try to do that, and it'll be a good exercise because people will see what it looks like, not from my computer, because my computer has everything. We did it many times on this computer, so it kind of flies through it. Okay,
John,
I'm gonna
just
put a
make sure
link in the
too,
Slack right now.
John, just make sure when you do start your live stream, make sure any tabs that are identifiers or things that are private are closed before you share your screen. That's just good practice. So we want to make sure all of our students are safe and awesome. All right. Sorry to interrupt. It's through the Slack
Yeah, it's
channel.
on Slack. It's in the channel. So you can join, and then whoever else has an issue can join after you.
For folks listening in while they get things saturated in general, when we have live classes like this, same with demos. Sometimes we have demos that are just too powerful to have on the main feed. It's not that we're gatekeeping. It's actually, we want to make sure that you're using links that you're supposed to, because if you click the wrong thing, it can have real consequences. And I'll give you, for instance, I was hunting and gathering in, I think, season 4, and I hit a malicious link just by accident, and it managed to just wipe out our family servers, right? So there are certain things that when you're hunting and gathering out in the wild, you want to practice safe, hunting and gathering. So we make sure that the links are in the Slack channel. It's not just so that you have them all in one place, right? We want you to have them all in one place, but also, be cognizant. This is a decentralized world, the digital overlay. You have radical accountability. And so you want to make sure that you are doing all of the necessary things. And part of that muscle memory, just like learning this class, is also being very disciplined about how you manage your links, how you manage your, journey in the digital overlay, and be cognizant of the links that you are actually clicking on. It is just one of those things that we want to make sure. And we do have, for folks that don't know, Tech in Schools works with young kids. So a lot of the parameters and things that we have in place
run the same commands on my project right now. So I'm going to switch over back to my project, and we'll see if I get the same error. You can stop screen sharing, and I'm actually going to switch the slide stream anyway. So let's see. I'm going to try to connect this now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. We'll give it a few more minutes until I connect, and then we'll cap it off. Now, here's my env. Here's my database URL. Seems okay. Now I need next auth URL as well. Next auth underscore URL. Localhost 3000. And let's see, because when you do npm I, this actually also, I think, sees the database. Yeah, there you go. Prisma generates. So this does actually see the database as well. npm install. Let's see. Let's see if we have anything. Looks like we do. Browse collections. Sample flicks. Now let's see if I can log in. Right, npm run dev. Okay, so npm run dev. That's going to run our development server. And I can just control click this to go there. Now we'll troubleshoot as well. So we go to network, create an account, test. It looks like registration does work. And it's completely empty. Makes sense. We don't have anything filled in yet.